Touch is probably one of the most marvelous things that's happened to me in the last few years.
The sound quality is amazing.
Hi, I'm Sam Westover, Chairman and CEO of Sonic Innovations. We believe that it's so important for people to be able to communicate well with each other, and to do that you need to be able to hear clearly. For a grandparent to be able to hear their grandchild, for a spouse to be able to understand their spouse, is so important in developing and maintaining relationships. Sonic is passionate about building hearing instruments that help you achieve that. As we've talked to patients, we found that it's very important to them that hearing aids be cosmetically discreet. They really want them to be small. And Sonic Innovations has a tradition of building the smallest hearing instruments available. Touch is a terrific product. It provides all of the features and benefits of Sonic's leading hearing aids, but it's incredibly small. Our engineers have worked hard for years to continue to make the smallest products available in the marketplace. But what they really care about is helping you to be able to hear better and to understand speech and noise. I'd like to introduce you to some of our engineers and have them explain to you how Touch was made.
Yeah, when we design a hearing aid, we always have people saying, we want it invisible. We want this thing smaller and smaller every time we build one. That's a real challenge for our engineering group and scientists to figure out how do we take all these things, all these requirements, so they'll be more and more discreet for the one that has to wear it, because they don't want to be defined by their hearing aid. They want the hearing aid to be an aid to them and something they can be proud of. When we start with an idea, we have to be able to take those abstract ideas and put them down on paper, take these thoughts and start making them physical. I can get my ideas out on paper very quickly. I can see right away if it's going to be a good idea, if it's going to be small enough, and then I move on to the engineers and get them started putting those things into CAD, the computer-aided design tools that they have, where they can start putting things in 3 dimensions and try to take the ideas that were just on paper and start modeling them in 3 dimensions. And then we start analyzing those things with modern mathematical tools called finite element, where we can tell when things will break before we even make them. And the next step is then we bring it into manufacturing, where we have tooling made, and then we start putting things together, and then we start testing.
If you build the best product, but it doesn't work the way that it's supposed to or live up to the demands of everyday life, then it's not really the best product, is it? So we spend a lot of time testing because we really want our products to be the highest quality. One of the areas that we spend a lot of time testing is the mechanical testing of the hearing aid. Things like, how strong is it? How susceptible is it to things like sweat or other environmental factors? We also test to make sure that it's durable. So, for example, if you push the button over and over and over again, is that button going to continue to work properly? There's a temperature and humidity chamber to help us find out what's going to happen to the device over its lifetime. It's an accelerated life test, so if we test for 2 or 3 weeks in the chamber, it will tell us what will happen over the 5 years of the device's lifetime. We test a lot of different characteristics of the sound. We test to make sure that the hearing aid is directional, so that the sound that's in front of a person is amplified and the sound behind them is attenuated. We test to make sure that there's no feedback, which is a little squealing of the hearing aid. And we test to make sure that the sound that the audiologist thinks that they're prescribing for someone is actually what's getting into their ear. During the testing phase, whenever someone finds a problem, we go back to the drawing board, fix it, and make sure that we get through to the end with the highest quality that we can possibly get.
So when we're testing product with our volunteer patients, our advice to them is their job is to complain, because we can't make things better unless we know what the problems are. So there's a lot of time spent with each and every patient to understand their experience, what the problems are and how we make things better. Patients are the ones that have to wear it every day. It has to work for them like clockwork. Can't have any problems. We have to evaluate anything that can go wrong with those hearing aids on those individuals to make sure it works. If the device dies because it's too sensitive to moisture and something gets plugged or something gets corroded, then you don't have a successful product. So when we find any problem with a product that will affect its success when it's finally launched, we collect examples of that, we get the information from the users, we take it back to engineering so that they can come up with a solution. We then check to make sure that their solution will eliminate that problem from occurring in the field, so that the product that's finally released will be trouble-free and will optimize the experience for the end user.
Prior to using the Touch hearing aids, I found myself passing enough invitations to go to dinner, to go to movies with other people, and my social life suffered. I just had had so many embarrassing situations, and since I started using the Touch units, there's nothing that I won't go to. It doesn't matter what event it is, how many people, how much background noise. I feel totally confident that I'm going to be able to hear all the conversations going on in the room.
The world's really a noisy place. Yeah, I was amazed how much noise there is in the world. The sound of a parka as you walked, the sound of a keyboard when you're typing. Some of them are very pleasant, like the sound of birds and the sound of children, which I didn't hear all that much before. My wife would say, you know, listen to the birds, and I'd have to say, what bird? And didn't even realize that there were birds there. And now I'm pointing them out to her.
People don't know I'm wearing them. That's what I love about them, as they don't know why I'm able to hear them now. And I didn't before when I was asking questions all the time.
I'm so happy with these units. Look how small they are. Isn't that amazing? They've made me feel actually younger.
I can't imagine being without the Touch units. You'd have to fight me to take them away from me.
So now you've seen what's gone into the development of Touch and why we're so excited about this new product. Sonic is passionate about continuing to innovate and build products that will improve your life through enhanced hearing.